Concrete frame building are the most common type of modern building. It consists of column, beam, and slab to distribute the loads of the building and transfer it to the foundation. Foundation of the building act as a base to support and transfer the heavy load from the building to subsoil below the ground. The type of foundations used depends on the cohesive of soil. For shallow foundation, including strip foundation, trench foundation, pad foundation, and rough foundation. Which category as stick foundation is suitable for high-rise building? In this video, we are going to study ball pile. Normally, ball pile is used in densely populated areas because little vibration and lower noise level were created during the installation. Therefore, less disruption to the adjacent soil and buildings. Before start the installations of ball pile, stake out and referencing of purpose pile location works is required. The pile center point and the reference stake was set to make sure the positions of the ball piles are same as per drawing. After ensure the center of during bucket was perpendicular to the pile center point, pre-boring process begin. During bucket that attached with the hydraulic during machine was used in the during process. Due to weak soil, the borehole was unstable. Therefore, a temporary casing is required. The temporary casing must be installed vertically either by gravity or vibro hammer. After that, the during below casing process begins. The polymer-based bentonite is pumped into the borehole as temporary support. Besides, sounding chain is used to check the depth of the borehole to ensure the boring is up to the required depth. After make sure the depth of the borehole, the installation of rebar cage begin. Next, the installation of 3-mile pipe begin. The 3-mile pipe is inserted to the borehole by lifting head. A hopper is then connected to the 3-mile pipe for the preparation of pouring concrete. Slump test is required to measure the workability of the fresh concrete before pouring the concrete into the borehole. After the test, the concrete is then poured into the borehole through the hopper and 3-mile pipe. Make sure the 3-mile pipe is embedded into the concrete to prevent inflow of soil or water to the concrete. As the concrete is pouring to the borehole, the overflow slurry with ball soil or mud will come out and transfer to a sediment tank through channel where the sediment settle and the polymer-based bentonite can be reused. The 3-mile pipe is then removed as concrete rise upwards. For the removal of temporary casing, the casing has to be pulled out vertically. Hence, the installation of ball pile is completed.
This is the pile cap and column stump of a high-rise building. The pile cap is to provide the necessary combined resistance stresses set up by the superstructure and the ground movement. The reinforcement bars are laid onto the formwork. The concrete is then poured into the formwork. After that, it will be cured and hardened, and the pile cap will be formed. This is the column stump on the pile cap. This is the formwork and reinforcement bar of the staircase. This is the formwork to the soffit of the staircase. The formwork using either plywood or framing lumber to build the form. This is the fitting process to the landing slab. Reinforcement bars are laid on the formwork of the staircase. Top and bottom reinforcement bar are tied well. Putting the formwork to the thread and risers. Pour the concrete starting from the bottom and pour one step at a time. Make sure the concrete are spread evenly. Add the finishing touches with using of a simple wood float to clean and smooth the surface of the concrete. After a week, the concrete will be hardened and move away the lumber. And the staircase is then constructed. This is the starter bar for the next flight of the staircase. This is the reinforcement bar used for the construction of beam. This is the formation of the reinforcement bars of the beam. Props and ledges for beams will be constructed. Putting the barriers normally at 300 mm center. Putting the plywood at the sides and base. Entering the reinforcement cage of the beam. Concrete is then poured in. Compacting, setting, curing, and hardening. The formworks are then removed after the concrete gains its sufficient strength. These are the concreting process for the beams.
Scaffoldings are very important to every construction, and it can easily find in every construction site. Scaffolding can be used as staircase and formwork. Due to their strength, these scaffolds are frequently used where heavy load need to be carried or where multiple platforms must reach several stories high. When erecting a scaffold, use footing that are level, rigid, and capable of supporting the load without settlement. Firstly, lay out the parts. This is the jack plate with a jack screw which rests on the sole plate. Jack screw is used to adjust the height of the scaffold to ensure it is plumb. The left one can be called as U-plate as well due to its shape. They are act as the base plate for the scaffolding to be placed vertically and plumb to prevent swaying and displacement. After that, there is a brace called horizontal brace, which requires on the bottom of the scaffolding. It is connected by the right angle coupler. This is the right angle coupler, and it is used to connect two tubes to the scaffolding at right angle. Swivel coupler is also used to connect two tubes at any angle. Therefore, it provides a greater stability to the scaffolding. Next, this is the cross brace. It is required on both front and back side of each scaffold frame. Cross brace is used to hold both sides of scaffold frames. It is installed between the frames and to ensure the scaffold frame to be plumb. This shows how the cross braces lock at the scaffold frame. Joint pin is used to provide end-to-end connection of scaffold tubes. It operates by inserted internally and expand to apply grip against the inner wall of the tubes. Aluminium ladder is used for the scaffolding as well. After the braces and frames are installed, it is hooked onto the tubes for the access to the higher level. Platform may be made of solid sawn wood, manufactured steel, or manufactured aluminium. In this case, aluminium platform is used. The aluminium platform is also hooked onto the scaffolding at every level. It provides a standing area for the users. Scaffolding must be checked by the competent person. Make sure that a competent person inspects the scaffold before each work shift. If during the inspection, a defect or damage to the scaffold is discovered, the scaffold must be tagged out and not used until repairs are made. Attach tags at the access point to the scaffold. Red tags indicates unsafe and do not use, while green tag indicates safe and ready to use. Scaffolding can be used as an access to the higher level. Also, it can be used as a formwork to slab, staircase, beams, and more. This is the scaffolding as formwork to slab. The bottom part of the scaffolding are same, which include the component of jack plate, jack screw, and saw plate. There are also cross braces for the scaffolding, which hold two scaffold frames together. After that, the top part is quite similar with the bottom part. It is formed with the U-head, timber joist, and timber plank. The square hollow section still is tied to the scaffold frame. The worker at the site use the wire and hammer to complete the tiring process followed by one another. This is the making of walkway on the scaffolding for the scaffolder. After that, timber plank is placed on top of the steel and the walkway is done. Other than that, props provide ideal and the most economical method of support for all kinds of formworks, slabs, beams, walls, and columns. They are also invaluable for a wide variety of applications in general building construction and repair works. Props eliminate the costly labor and time consumed in cutting timber to length, wedging, and nailing when used in the vertical as a prop. The base plate and head plates hold for use with slab formwork.
In situ concrete slabs are built on the building site using formwork, often supported by a temporary scaffold until the concrete set. For the ground slab, the formwork may consist only of side walls pushed into the ground. In a video for suspended slab, the formwork is shaped like a tray. The ledges for the slab are being placed and supported below the formwork. There are two types of formwork in this building, which are bamboo formwork and aluminium formwork. Bamboo formwork is made of bamboo veneer. The workers are living up the bamboo formwork. Bamboo formwork, which are conglutinated slide by slide through high temperature and high pressure processing after boiling and completely dry. Transverse slabs is thicker than normal floor slab to support the load from the higher floor slab. Above from the transverse slab, they are using aluminium formwork and built without column. Aluminium formwork is a kind of environment protection and recyclable durable product. After the formwork is ready, matte fabric reinforcements are arranged on the top of formwork. Concrete spacers are used to provide a gap between reinforcement bars. This is reinforcement bars on the transverse slab. The workers are tying the reinforcement bar one by one. The reinforcement bars are also tied to the formwork beside of it. There are a lot of post-tensioning tendons. Post-tensioning tendons, which are pre-stressing steel cables inside plastic ducts or sleeves, are positioned in the forms before the concrete is placed. Afterwards, once the concrete has gained strength before the surface loads are applied, the cables are pulled tight or tensioned and anchored against the outer edges of the concrete. Pull the concrete into the mold, get a truck to pull concrete straight into the form. Screed the top of the concrete. Use a screeding tool to flatten out the wet concrete and create a flat surface. Create traction. Use a broom to sweep across the surface and provide traction on the concrete so it is not as slippery when wet. Finally, the concrete floor slab compact, set, cure, and harden. After the formwork is stripped off, the mesh fabric reinforcements are exposed outside.
Column is the vertical support which is free from all sides, taking the load of beam slab and transfer the load to the earth. The ground floor columns were constructed using plywood column forms. Firstly, tie the reinforcement to the starter bars. The column link is usually used in column reinforcement. The column box for shuttering is made of plywood fabricated with adequate patterns. After constructing the formwork of column, it is necessary to check for correct verticality before concreting. Step 1 is to attach the plywood template on the completed formwork. Then the shuttering should be aligned to it vertically and the string of plumb bob should touches the plywood template. It has to be supported by struts or ties before pouring the concrete so that it does not move during concreting. The gaps near the shutter joint should be sealed to prevent any leakage or slurry. It should be provided an appropriate space between the inner face of the shutter and reinforcement by fixing cover blocks. This is how the column looks like when it is cured. The first floor columns were constructed using steel column forms. Steel formwork are stronger and have a longer lifetime than plywood formwork. Before concreting, make sure the panel units are held together using bolts and nuts. After it is screwed tightly, it is ready to receive concrete. This is how it looks like when it is cured. This is a concrete pump. It is used to place concrete for formwork systems, basement floors, and large concrete slabs. The panel units can be removed once the concrete has hardened. This is a stretcher bond. It is useful for construction half-brick thick partition wall. The brick has 1 part cement and 6 parts of sand cement mortar. The bricks are all stacked up together. First, butter the brick with mortar and press it into the place. Next, scrape away any excess mortar as the work. Keep adding bricks until the row is finished. This is how it looks like when the mortar is curved. After cement render the brick walls, it's the time to plaster and paint the wall.